Sup, buddy? Welcome back. You. Glad you found the place. Well, I just thought since we sitting here pricing some of this material today, mostly just some of these azurites on Matrix from Morocco, that we would talk a little bit about just how we do some of the pricing. I've had a few questions on my Facebook page about this. Now, all these cups, these are all different azurites on Matrix. We've got some beat up, you know, bigger ones that just aren't real fully formed. Then we've got some nicer ones that are beat up that have fully formed crystals. And then there's some that are higher end, that have, let's see what this one is here, that have fuller formed, not so damaged crystals, like this one. And it's got some damage to her, but not too bad. Still got nice luster, good color. So what you're going to want to do is you really want to be able to price check different sites. Now we would start off with like eBay, which is going to be, eBay's always going to have just a lot more expensive prices on the same kinds of material. Here's another little azurite crystal. But once you go from eBay to Etsy, and Facebook's kind of hard to price check on unless you want to sit and like watch through somebody's live feeds or figure out what they're doing with their auctions, but that's not going to give you, you can always do a market value and auction stuff off, but that can get tricky if you're not familiar with the format. So the way I always suggest to everybody to do it, like I said, is to price check Facebook or to price check eBay and Etsy, and then go to some of the higher end rock shops online, like Arkenstone or Cutting Edge, something that's going to have nicer, fuller formed crystals, not so much damage. And you got to be able to judge your specimen, is your specimen A grade? Is it super clean? Is it only got a couple little bruises on it? Is it, not damaged at all, or is it heavily damaged? These are questions you got to ask and know how to answer when you're trying to price your material. So a lot of the times, the higher end rock shops, like stuff that you're seeing on Arkenstone or Cutting Edge Minerals or something like that, is going to be, I don't want to say too high priced, and some of them they are, and Arkenstone's one of them that sells mostly higher end undamaged specimens and stuff, so you don't want to try to judge your material solely based on, oh, well, that's a azurite and I have an azurite, so it's got to be worth this. That's why you want to compare it to eBay and Etsy, and it helps to find a good group. Now we're starting the Emerald Coast Crystals and Jewelry Help Group to help people sell rocks on Facebook and online in general, to know a little more about just what they're getting into when they're trying to sell specimens and stuff online. So if you stick to a good formula and you don't pay too much for your rocks, and that's another thing you want to figure in, is if you're trying to buy rocks online to sell online, it can work. There's a few formats you can go in and like buy my auctions. I have some people that go in and bid on my $4 auctions, like what's in these over here. And then they'll be able to go and resell it for 1 or 2 times their money, sometimes 3 times. If it's some of my nicer specimens, like some of the slabs, the Blue Mountain or something like that, or some of the manganese needles on amethyst from Morocco, because I get a lot of Moroccan material that I'm able to let go of fairly cheap, so I even had one of the the little pieces of azurite, about like this one, in one of my $4 auctions the other day. And, I just get this stuff cheap enough. I buy it in bulk at the shows. So I would suggest that if you're trying to have an online rock business, you don't necessarily want to buy your rocks online to try to resell. That's just not a real sound business model in general. But it can work, like I said, sometimes. But it's just much better to be able to go to the shows to where you can source directly from the countries that the material comes from, and if possible, the miners that actually mine it. Because even just because it's, fellas from the same region selling the material, it don't mean they mine it. The guys that I get my vanadinite off of, they actually mine the vanadinite themselves. So I'm able to get a lot better deal off of them off the vanadinite than I am with the people that sell the material from there, that buy it, in big lots and stuff. So, but just a little tip or two for you. Hope y'all can get something out of it. Y'all come on back now.